I'd like to welcome everyone to the June 25th, 2024 Old Bridge Township Council meeting. Please rise for a pledge of allegiance, and please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As customary in this chamber, we stand a moment to remember those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad. For our first responders, and for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, and for all those who are suffering around the world. A moment of silence, please. Mr. Pasquitti, our prayer.
Dear Lord, bless your servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve you in this chamber. Give us quiet minds and hearts that we may hear your voice. Help us to know when to speak, when to be silent. Give us the strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right. Grant that we have a good conscience and soul at peace with thee and with one another. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Thank you.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the official newspapers of the Township on January 6, 2024, and has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, at 7:30 p.m. Roll call. Councilman Asatuli.
Present.
Councilwoman DeCaro. Here. Councilman DePalma.
Here.
Councilman Desai is absent. Councilman Garcia.
Here.
Councilman Murphy.
Here.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Here.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli is absent. And Council President Sohar.
Here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting. Our first will be public reading. Is this second reading?
This is a performance bond release.
Right.
So Nicole comes up.
Right. No, but it's for second reading? Okay. All right. H1, performance guarantee reduction, Oaks at Glenwood, Phase 1C-K, Hobnanian at Old Bridge 2, LLC, Astor Circle, Block 7111, 7119-7123, Lots 21, 1-42, 19, 110, 112, application number 54-17P. Good evening. Was a mouthful. Good evening.
Thank you, Council President. Council, this was an application that was in front of our planning board in 2017. They had come in front of our planning board for a subdivision approval. They had broken up the construction of 256 residential homes that are located off of Astor Circle, which is also located off of Schulmeister Road, sort of behind where the new ShopRite is. Everybody's familiar with the K. Hovnanian development. They have completely built out 1A and 1B, and now they're here for a reduction on 1C. If you notice, the memo that was prepared by Environmental Resolution, Inc., who are our consultants. They are inspecting the property and the construction, and they're under the direction of Rakesh Darji. Chuck Potts is our inspector that's out there, and he's out there daily checking in with construction and making sure everything's being built according to plan. They were going to be with us tonight, but I had asked them not to come because we're intimately familiar and we work very closely together on the inspection. And so they have briefed me on what is going on with the site and their recommendations going forward for tonight's reduction. Just so that everybody is aware, the total performance guarantee for this section was $2,073,473.60. In the form of a bond was $1,866,126.24. The 10% cash portion was in the amount of $207,347.36. At this point, when this memo was prepared, it was March 2024. Over 70% of the work had been completed. And so when we're doing a reduction, we could actually recommend a maximum of 70%, and that's what Environmental Resolution had prepared during this phase. I just want the council to rest assured that well over 70% of the work has been done in Phase 1C. And so we do recommend reduction of the performance guarantee. So the bond would be reduced to $559,837.87, representing the remaining 30%. And then the cash deposit would be reduced to $62,204.21, representing 30% of the cash portion. And we are in good standing as far as our escrow account, so there won't be any stipulations on the reduction, so long as we do have enough in the account to cover our inspections going forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicole. And for the record,
Hi, good evening, Council President and council members. Peter Klauser with the firm Heilbrunn Pape on behalf of K. Hovnanian. I agree with Nicole's analysis. Although it's beyond 70% that we've created, that we've completed, the law is the max that you can reduce it to is that number, so we're fine with that. And I would just ask that the council act favorably on the reduction.
okay, thank you very much. Does anyone from the council on my left have a question? Anyone on my right? Anyone from the public wish to be heard on this? Seeing no hands from the public, I'll close public portion. I'll ask for a motion.
Motion, move it.
Okay, moved by Mr. Murphy and second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro? Yes. Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes,
7 yeses.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
thank you. H2, Performance Guarantee Release, Woodhaven Village. Section 2, Phase 7, Application Number 14-16 PF. Good evening once again, Mrs. Shapiro.
Thank you, Council President. Atlantic Realty was a developer on this project, and they came in with an application called Woodhaven Village Section 2, Phase 7, under application 17-16P. They were in front of our planning board. They had actually started construction on a community called the Reserves at Woodhaven under their preliminary approval. Once they received final approval, they came to us, we set up a bond for them. The total bond in the amount of $1,370,580.36, of which in the form of a bond was $1,233,522.32. The 10% cash deposit was in the amount of $137,058.04. And the community, I'm sure everybody is aware, is off of Woodhaven Boulevard and located on McCormick Avenue South and Wright Court. And they were for the construction of single-family homes. Because there are public roadways that would be involved after we would take over, we would ask that the applicant post a maintenance bonds in the amount of $412,593.94 for a period of 2 years, which represents 15% of the original construction bonds amount. We also ask that any outstanding escrow fees be paid, if any. And then we also ask for the posting of an inspection fee in the amount of $5,000, so that when the 2 years have elapsed, it gives us the ability to have either the engineering department or our inspectors go out and then do that final inspection for the items that are on that bond. So we make sure that everything's in place before we accept the roadways.
That's very good that, you put it that way. There's always some, back and forth about the roads, so it's good to see, we're coming to a good conclusion. And for the record, you are?
Good evening, Brian Plocker from the firm of Hutch Manowitz and Plocker.
Yeah, please, thank you, Brian.
Good evening, Brian Plocker from the firm of Hutch Manowitz and Plocker in Woodbridge on behalf of the developer, the Reserve at Woodhaven LLC. Ms. Shapiro is spot on in her analysis, and the conditions she just reviewed are acceptable to my client.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Is there anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Okay, I'll take a motion.
Move it.
Okay, moved by Mr. Murphy, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilman Murphy,
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini,
Yes.
Council Vice President Sohar.
Yes,
7 yeses.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Next liquor licenses, renewals with conditions. Resolution granting application for plenary retail consumption license renewal for Jersey Girls, Route 35, Associates LLC. License number 1209-33-035-007 for the 2024-2025 license term. Good evening. Please, thank you.
Hold on one second, sir. Council President, I just wanted to let council know that there are the recommendations from the chief of police on the dais for everybody to review, and that no restrictions are being changed from prior years on this particular license.
Okay. All right, is everyone comfortable reading that? Everybody good? Okay, all right. So is there any questions from anyone? This is Jersey Girls, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, Route 35. Jersey
Route
Girls, it's on
35
here.
Associates.
No, it's called Jersey Girls. It's Route 35. You have it in front of you, John. There's a, yeah,
It's not open, right?
We're open for private parties.
yeah, private, yeah.
We agree to the conditions too.
Yeah. Okay. Motion? We need the public, we're good? No? Okay, anyone else? No? Okay, so we need a motion. Oh, you go ahead.
Route 35, right next to, like, past Lisa Pizza, right on the right-hand side.
It was I think Diamond Girls.
Yeah, that's what it
One
used to be, correct, yes, yeah.
And the address is actually in the resolution also.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, then I'll ask for a resolution, for a motion. Motion, okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Asatuli, second by Mrs. DeCaro.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Murphy.
Abstain.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes,
6 yeses, 1 abstention.
okay. All right, thank you. Next will be resolution granting application for plenary license consumption license renewal for Sarthy Corporation. License number 1209-33-019-007 for the 2024-2025 license term. Good evening,
Good evening.
and can you, your name and all for the record,
Oh, yeah.
please?
First name is Bharat, last name is Kedia. We are at 345C Matawan Road, Matawan, New Jersey, right behind Walgreens.
Okay.
And I do want to mention that there are no new restrictions placed on this license. They were the same as prior year's restrictions, by the recommendation of the police department.
Okay, does anyone on my left have a question? On my right? Then I'll take motion.
Move it.
Okay, moved by Mr. DePalma, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call. Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes,
7 yeses.
thank you, and have a nice evening. Resolution granting application for plenary license consumption license renewal for Grillstone LLC. License number 1209-33-005-019 for the 24-25 license term. Is there anyone here? No. Okay, and it's always been the policy that if they're not here,
Well, we did tell them that they did not need to appear.
oh, okay.
The license with restrictions, as long as they were in agreement with whatever the restrictions were on the license. And again, this license has no new restrictions it's the same as prior years, that they did not have to appear.
Okay, well then I guess no questions, anyone? No, well, Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is that going to set a precedent now? Because we always required them to come here.
They're not required.
But the council always said that we want them here to vote on it.
Right, so if they were advised that they agreed with it and they don't need to be here, you can't hold that against them.
I mean, that,
Okay, so who's making that decision? If the council had made a decision to want them here, who's making?
I understand that, but the clerk advised that she advised the applicant. Excuse me, the applicant, the clerk advised the applicant that it was not, as long as they agreed to the conditions, they weren't required to be here.
so at this point, if that would, they were given that advice, we can't, how are we going to now, delay them? I mean, they need their license if everything is in order. And, there's a certain time frame that they need to, to have this done. I mean, you can't expect them then, if the police and all agreed that it was okay, what would you suggest?
Oh, I'm just saying, are we setting now a new precedent? Because we've always,
Right, the council has been the one to make that decision, that's what you're saying.
right, so I want to know what changed.
I just made the decision and told them that if they were in, because they had a traveling issue where they could not be here for this council meeting, and they were not ready for renewal at the first meeting in June because they were having some tax clearance issues. So they weren't ready, they weren't going to be around for the second meeting, so this is their last chance for renewal.
Okay, so then I'll move it.
Okay, moved by Mr.
Second.
Penn and second by Mr. Murphy.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Murphy. Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
7 yeses. Now, this next license, the gentleman had requested a waiver for appearing because, again, he is a disabled veteran and could not appear. So I told him that as long as he is in agreement with the restrictions placed on the license, that he did not need to appear.
Okay, and the police department concurred with you.
And the police department did not make any additional restrictions on the license.
Okay, yeah, that's important. Okay, thank you. So this is resolution granting application for plenary retail consumption license renewal for Sideline Lounge Incorporated, Club 516. License number 1209-33-004-002 for the 2024-2025 license term. Do I have any questions, or can I get a motion?
I'll move it.
Okay, moved by Mrs. DeCaro, second by Mr. Asatuli.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Murphy.
Abstain.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
6 yeses, 1 abstention.
Resolution granting application for plenary retail consumption license renewal. Okay. Well, we'll do it now with the next roll call. He can be on the, noted for the record, Mr. Desai is here. It's at 10 to 8. Good evening. Okay. Resolution granting application for plenary license consumption license renewal for Red Zebra LLC, a gentleman's club license number 1209-33-009-XXX for the 2024-2025 license term.
So now this license is receiving, the recommendation from the police department is to change the restrictions on the license. There is a memo from the police department regarding what they feel the restrictions should be. And they are a little less than what the last set of restrictions were. They want them to resort back to the restrictions that were placed on the license in 2022.
Okay, and there's someone here from Red Zebra. Come forward, please. And then who's representing for the police?
Jess Caffey.
Okay.
Good evening. Lawrence Rosenberg. manager of the Red Zebra.
Good evening.
The owner is here as well. So
Yes. So you've gone through this with the clerk as far as what the restrictions are, and you understand fully what it is, and
we
you
are going to
agree with the
behave.
restrictions? Okay, we just want to make sure for the record that you,
So the restrictions that were on the license, continued active use of the digital surveillance system from inside the bar and the exterior parking lots, and deferred maintenance as outlined by the Health Department and must be abated and must abide by all regulations of Chapter 27 sanitation in retail food establishments and food and beverage vending machines dated January 2nd, 2007. Those are the only two restrictions.
okay, does any of the council members have a question? Mr. De Palma.
Are we going to still, we are not going to require them any longer to come every 90 days, correct?
Right, that was the imposition of the conditions last year that the applicant agreed to, and the recommendation by Chief Montagno was that those conditions would no longer apply.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone for a question?
No question. I don't have a question. I just comment, thank you guys for, following the procedures, and appreciate that you've really done your due diligence and really
Yeah.
followed all the restrictions. So I just want to thank you guys.
Yeah, and took the residents in mind because they were really very concerned, so thank you. Okay, we're good. Does anyone want to start with a motion? Okay,
I'll second.
okay, motion by Mr. Asatuli, second by Mrs. DeCaro.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Desai. Yes. Councilman Garcia.
yes.
Councilman Murphy.
Abstain.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes.
6 yeses, 1 abstention.
Okay.
Thank you very much, all. Have a great
Thank
summer.
you. Have a nice summer. Thank you. Bill list, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, thank you. Bill list as of June 25, 2024. Accounts payable, June 25, 2024, $11,375,584.58. Payroll, June 21st, 2024, $1,316,829.55. Payroll overtime, June 21st, 2024, $38,733.11. That completes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Garcia. Can we have a breakdown of the overtime, please? Thank you.
As Councilman Garcia indicated, our overtime for the 624 payroll was $38,733.11. We saw a slight uptick in overtime due to the primary elections, and our police overtime breaks down as follows. Sworn police overtime, $22,777.74. Deduct grants, $4,407.92. Deduct ETO, $7,627.42. Deduct accreditation, $4,625.46, for a total of $6,116.94 and 189 men and women hours. We have one officer that was injured on duty. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. Okay, so seeing, I'd like to ask for a motion. Mr. Desai, a second. Mr. Asatuli.
You want to do roll call, you want to open to the public?
No, not the payroll, not the finance.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai?
Yes.
Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Murphy? Yes. Councilman Pasquitti?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Next will be public hearing, adoption for second ordinances for second reading. H1, ordinance number 24-11, ordinance of the Township of Old Bridge, amending Chapter 250 of the Code of the Township of Old Bridge, entitled Old Bridge Township Land Development Ordinance, by amending various sections of the same. Any council person have a question or comment? I'll open it to the public. Anyone have a comment or on this second reading ordinance? Seeing no hands, I'll close the public portion and I'll ask for a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Asatuli, second by Mr. Pasquini.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai? Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Murphy? Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
H2, ordinance number 24-12, ordinance amending certain sections of the Chapter 388, rental property, Article 1, rental stabilization of the Code of the Township of Old Bridge. Does anyone from the council have a question? Anyone in the public wish to be heard on this ordinance for second reading? Seeing no hands, I'll close public portion. I'll ask for a motion.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Asatuli, second by Mr. Pasquini.
Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai? Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Murphy?
Abstain.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
And Council President Sohar?
Yes.
7 yeses, 1 abstention.
Consent agenda, I'd like to get a motion and a second, and then I'll bring it out for separation.
Move it.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Pasquini and second by Mr. De Palma. Separations, please.
Councilman Asatuli, any items for separation?
No, thank you.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
No.
Councilman De Palma?
No, thank you.
Councilman Desai? Councilman Garcia?
I have none, thank you.
Councilman Murphy?
No, thank you.
Councilman Pasquini?
No separations, thank you.
Council President Sohar?
No, thank you.
Okay. Roll call for the entire consent agenda. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro?
Yes.
Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Desai? Yes. Councilman Garcia?
Yes.
Councilman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses.
Report of the township clerk.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody, all of the township staff who helped out at the election. Again, a very quick night for us here. Everybody did a wonderful job, from Casey's staff to, we had some people from engineering helped out, to name them
Team
all.
effort. That's
Yes,
great.
team effort. Everybody did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Good, okay. Report of the attorney.
Nothing to report, Madam President. Thank you.
Okay, administrative report.
Thank you.
Feltz.
Thank you. Number 1, Cottrell Farm Park grand opening. Mayor Walker and I would like to take this time to thank everyone who attended the grand opening of Cottrell Farm Park on June 20th. It was great to see our department heads and our directors, even some of our employees, as well as the public, out on that day for that wonderful occasion. The children in attendance and their families were so excited to finally enjoy the splash park and playground. We ordered that heat wave to come along, so that way more people would come out. It was a beautiful day and a perfect way to kick off the first day of summer. The park will bring delight on hot summer days for years to come. The splash park will be open daily from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., weather permitting, through Labor Day. There is no fee to attend the splash park. Parks and Recreation, vendor applications for Saltwater Day and Old Bridge Day are now on our website. Saltwater Day is scheduled for Saturday, August 10th, and Old Bridge Day is scheduled for Saturday, September 21st. For more information and to download an application, please go to oldbridge.com/recreation or call 732-721-5600, extension 4999. Public Works. The next paint and fluorescent bulb day will be Saturday, July 13, 2024, at the Recycling Drop-Off Center. Residents can bring bulbs, paint cans, oils, stains, latex, and more between the hours of 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. For more information, visit oldbridge.com/recycling. Old Bridge Township receives a Green Acres grant for $750,000. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and the Garden State Preservation Trust have approved our application for a Green Acres matching grant of $750,000, contingent upon the passage of a legislative appropriation for our Guy Park inclusive playground. If you remember, a few months back, Nicole from our engineering department was here doing the presentation. In their award notice, the DEP noted that they appreciate the township's commitment to increasing inclusive recreation opportunities. This funding gets us one step closer to breaking ground on this new inclusive playground. We'll make sure to keep you posted as we progress on this project. Thank you. And I just want to add one more thing. This application for these grants, you know, is a team effort. Our engineering department works really hard to seek out these grants, prepare these applications, works hand in hand with our other departments. The Cottrell Farm Park, we just talked about teamwork. That's a full teamwork. Our Public Works Department is maintaining that park beautifully. Our Parks Department is overseeing its operations. Our engineering department is going to be seeing the next phase. So it's quite the team effort. So we really appreciate everybody's effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have any comments for Anna or questions? Okay, how about motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Astatuli, second by Mr. De Palma. That is so wonderful, Anna, that grant. Unbelievable. It's a work in progress. When we're done, Cottrell is going to be a really, really beautiful place.
Roll call, Councilman Astatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Desai.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
8 yeses.
Public comment on any subject matter for a maximum period of 3 minutes.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. This section is open for any topic or items on the consent agenda. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Old Bridge Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 3 minutes or less. Only one member of the public shall approach to speak to council at a time. The council will respect the public's time by refraining from any comment until the speaker is finished with their allotted time. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the corresponding department's office during regular business hours. The township clerk will regulate the time during the comment portion of the meeting. As you approach the microphone, please state whether you're a resident of Old Bridge, and please, no names or addresses.
Okay, all right, so good evening. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard? Good evening.
Resident. I quickly wanted to acknowledge the pride flag raising. I hope that you reconsider for next June. It's important to remember that the pride flag does not represent the need for you to be gay, but acceptance of people. Second, I want to address a comment that was made a long time ago that I never addressed, that was made by Mr. Paschetti, all Democrats being murderers. I took this very personally as a Democrat who chose life, and I think that it would be a great idea if everyone shared the prayer, if you all took turns. I'm not trying to take anything away from someone, but I am asking that we share values rather than dictate our own. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard this evening?
I'm a bit smaller or shorter. I'm vertically challenged. I want to start with, it's okay, that's good enough. You can hear me, although, Mr. Rozzoli, I'm sorry that I spoke out. If I don't hear you on the microphone, I know it doesn't come through to the system, just so you know. But that said, first I want to thank you, sir, Council President, the police department over here, because they protected us, as always, and supported us in our Pride Rally outside. And I think that, again, it showed, every time we get more and more people, it shows that this town needs to be more accepting and respecting of pride. And that's why it's a whole month, because we try to change your minds if you're not in the mood. That said, I have a question for you, Councilman Paschetti. Why do you have a flag upside down in your yard? it's offensive to me. We spoke last time about the American flag, the American flag, the American flag, and yet you have a flag upside down facing on the street. I find it kind of offensive. It's an insult to all Americans in this room and all over the town. That said, I want to thank the police department because you guys are fabulous. And I'm hoping that next year you guys are going to reconsider and have a whole month of pride because we do deserve it. And it'll bring everybody together. And that's what this is all about, right? Bringing everybody together. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to be heard? Good
I'm
evening.
an Old Bridge resident.
Good evening.
Good evening. It's ironic and truly disheartening to hear slanderous misinformation publicly voiced by some council members at these meetings relative to recent decisions made by Board of Ed members. Such negativity only stokes dispersions about the difficult but ethically wise actions the Board of Ed took to rectify the school budget issues and ensure the students and the teachers and the community of Old Bridge are better served. I note it's ironic because some council members said the Board of Ed should have done due diligence before taking actions to address the school budget deficit. But if these council members had done due diligence themselves, they would have discovered that the Board of Ed met many times with state politicians, including Senator Henry, to lobby for more state aid. And the the Board of Ed held many public hearings about the school budget, and the public response was overwhelmingly in favor of the tax increase via public comments and emails to the Board of Ed, rather than face drastic cuts to programs, staff, and the length of school day. Most important, the reason spurring the Board of Ed's reluctant but necessary action was the council's perennial avoidance of residential reassessment. I know this firsthand because houses similar to mine in my development recently sold for over 4 times their assessed values. I don't like paying taxes, but I understand it's what citizens must do to perpetuate a good and equitable democracy. The public should know that the longer the reassessment gets kicked down the road, the worse it will be for residents. Finally, definitive responses to the disparaging comments by said council members were given at the last Board of Ed meeting. I strongly encourage everyone to watch said meeting, which is available on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to be heard this evening? Good evening.
Good evening. I am not a resident of Old Bridge. I'm a resident of Keyport. But I'm here today because I heard about the actions of a zoning board official who said some very negative things about the transgender community. And I also heard that you guys recently in this town had a flag planting ceremony where they planted all the different pride flags, and this same official, or whoever she was, ended up pulling up some of those flags. And I just wanted to say that I'm from Keyport, which is a very conservative town, and we just had our first pride flag planting. And it really meant so much to the whole community. So that really offended me that this person would do that. I know I don't live here, but this is something that is so important to us. So I don't know why anyone like that would work or be appointed to that position. That really affects us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening. I am a lifelong resident of Old Bridge. I'm a trans woman. I grew up in the Old Bridge school system. I've been a resident here for the majority of my life. I'm going to skip the rant about how trans people should be treated with respect because, quite frankly, I'm tired of having to justify my humanity to folks who disagree. This isn't about whether I agree with Patricia Testaverde or not. This is about whether her recent behavior is appropriate for her role on the Old Bridge Zoning Board. In her rant, which proved to be greatly misinformed and illiterate in terms of LGBTQ history, Patricia stated that you're supposed to be impartial. And you know what? I actually agree. But it is clear that she's not impartial. It's clear in the bias that was demonstrated in the video of her removing pride flags and ranting about how there isn't discrimination for gay folks, even as a gay woman herself, or as a trans woman. For instance, in Florida, I can be charged with fraud for carrying my current legal state-issued ID here in the state of New Jersey. This is one of the many discriminatory laws that are happening in our country. And I say this not to garner pity, but to demonstrate how misinformed and biased Patricia is. A government board is required by law not to discriminate against applicants on the basis of sexuality and gender identity. You guys all know this. But Patricia Testaverde, I don't think we can trust her to uphold that standard. Lastly, in her rant on June 11th, Patricia, quote, praised transgender people get the mental help they need. As someone who has 2 degrees in social work, I have spent years studying the diagnosis, treatment, and history of mental disorders. I find it ironic that the woman who had such a big, inappropriate reaction to legally placed rainbow flags, started berating folks in public, is claiming that trans people are the ones who need mental help. Patricia can keep her empty prayers, but she can't keep her role on the zoning board. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. I am a resident of Old Bridge and have been my whole life. So I am coming to speak to you about a petition that I would like to read to you. On the evening of June 12th, a group of Old Bridge residents temporarily placed a number of small LGBTQ plus flags, pride flags, into the planters outside of Town Hall as part of a demonstration in support of a proposal for the town to host a public pride flag raising. These flags were confirmed to have been permissibly placed by an officer of the Old Bridge Police Department who had consulted with his superiors that evening about the legality of their placement. Upon arriving to attend that evening's town council meeting, Old Bridge Zoning Board member Patricia Testaverde noticed the pride flags and began pulling them out of the soil. She then walked over to the nearest trash bin and threw the flags into the trash while yelling at the residents who had placed them there. There is a video linked in the petition, and there's also a few of us who are actually eyewitnesses to that. Later, at the council meeting, Testaverde went on a rant in which she stated that there was quote unquote maybe anti-gay oppression in the 60s and 70s and even part of the 80s, but that it's functionally non-existent today. Pride flags are part of why the country is in the mess it's in, and there should be no pink police cars for breast cancer awareness because you're supposed to be impartial, which makes absolutely no sense. And she prays that the transgender community gets mental help. Patricia Testaverde's reprehensible behavior and insulting on-the-record comments have made it clear that she should not be on any governmental board, let alone a government board that's required by law to not discriminate against applicants on the basis of sexuality or gender identity or expression. And then it goes on, and it asks that Patricia Testaverde be removed from her official position on the Old Bridge Township Zoning Board of Adjustment. There's video of her wildly irrational rants, and it's funny that she mentions, being impartial, because how is a person in a position of power who publicly feels this way and goes on record to say this, how can anyone have faith in that person to be impartial when she's making decisions on what happens in Old Bridge? And it's wildly obvious to me. I don't understand. I just don't get it. She should not be appointed to any position of power in this township, in any township. And, I hope that you all do your due diligence and do what's right, because she's harmful. So thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hi, council members. I'm actually from Perth Amboy, but I wanted to support what she just spoke about earlier. Patricia, I believe that's her name, that she had taken out the trans flags from the ground. And I think as a public official, I don't think that she should be doing things of that action, especially when residents did get permission to do this. And it's incredibly harmful to even say that there's no anti-gay or even anti-trans hate in the world right now, because it's not true. And I actually wanted to speak more about the people who were killed last year just for either the suspicion of being trans or were trans. So in 2023, there were 29 transgender and non-binary people that were killed. And I think a lot of this is fueled by the actions that this woman had done and a lot of microaggressions and just hateful comments. I think it's okay for someone to disagree with how LGBT people live their life, like myself, who's a gay man. But I also don't agree with, especially elected officials doing actions like that are creating harm for the community that is not only harm in their words and their language, but is harm that is through action. So this is either stabbings or fighting or violence, and it's not right because we all want to live in a world together as human beings, and we all have humanity. So I hope that you do listen to the past speaker before me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to be heard this evening? Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, there we go. Good evening, Madam Council President. I didn't prepare anything in particular this evening, but I was upset by comments during council comment section last time. I didn't prepare statements, but I did pull up a photo. This is last week. Council Vice President Anita Greenberg-Belli said that in response to pride flag raisings, we've always gone to the county for that. Well, I was there at the county pride flag raising, okay, and nobody else was. That's just not fair. It's one thing to say we're not going to have a pride flag raising in town. It's another thing to say, oh, we've always gone to this particular event that nobody's ever shown up to. That's not all right. I have not wanted this to be a partisan issue. I have not. I went last week and I listed off all of the historic out Republicans who have been in our state. And just this concept, this new wave of just anti-LGBT anxiety, and we know it sparked a lot of this, right? It's a lot of just leaning onto anti-trans sentiment. And in town, I never felt like I needed a pride flag raising until stuff started coming out, people started coming out, hateful people started coming out relating to the 57-56 repeal, the repeal of, transgender guidance in the local school district. And then now it's starting to get completely out of proportion of what we would even expect in an otherwise socially conservative town. I grew up here, I was here my whole life, and I dealt with, homophobic bullying when I was in school. I thought about taking my own life when I was a teenager because I felt like who I was not okay. And I'm bisexual too, so keep that in mind. Even just as a bisexual person, I felt like I wasn't okay to be who I am. And I want to see this town do better. We talk about, we have an older American recognition. We have the Indian flag raising. I like that. I hope we have an Indian flag raising, and I'm going to go to that. If and when that happens again. But I want to see all groups be represented. I want to see all groups be represented, and I don't want there to be, let alone public officials that are, throwing out pride flags. I mean, Madam Council President, you said we have to remain neutral about this because there's different, reactions on both sides, but it shouldn't be. We shouldn't have to be neutral about saying that people who have historically been discriminated against matter in this town, that these people deserve recognition.
That's your
That's
time,
all.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Very much. Okay. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard this evening?
Old Bridge resident. This is going to be probably the shortest speech tonight. Not prepared at all, but I just want to say to the residents that are watching that if you are celebrating Pride and you identify as LGBTQIA, that there's nothing wrong with you, but there's a lot wrong with the ignorance in the world and people who don't take the time to get to know you and the human being that you are. So thank you, that's all. Happy Pride.
Okay, is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? Okay, seeing no hands, I will close public portion. I will go to council comments.
Councilman Asatuli.
No comment.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank all the people that came out to speak tonight. You know, I saw you guys as I was walking in last week and this week, and you know, the one thing that I do want to say, I mean, whether it doesn't matter what the issue is. We all have the First Amendment right to free speech, and we have the right to peacefully protest, and that's what you guys were doing, and so there shouldn't have been any problem with it, and I'm sorry that there was someone that ruined that for you, and I apologize to you for that. Definitely support you guys. Tried to get a flag raising thing going here. It didn't work. Maybe next year. I'm hopeful. But that's okay. It is what it is. But I appreciate you guys coming out. Next thing I want to do is I want to say thank you to Casey Lenning for listening to my constant nagging about the one resident, and you got that done, and I appreciate that. And he appreciates it, so I wanted to thank you for that. And I also wanted to thank Chief Montagna and Sergeant Mediconis from Traffic Bureau. I had some question about some traffic issues, and I did, receive an email recently forwarded from Anna, and they're going to address the traffic issues because I really feel like Old Bridge, the one complaint other than taxes is speeding and traffic issues. So I appreciate that they are on top of that, and we're going to keep working on that. Just real quick, and this is not to be controversial or anything, the one thing I wanted to ask is I know that the BA from, I think I might have asked this before, the BA from the Board of Ed reached out to have a meeting, and I just wanted to know what the status of, because I know one of the things that was said last meeting was, Board of Ed didn't come here or whatever. So one thing that I've always been an advocate for is combining, like, let's all get together and talk. We're all one, we're all Old Bridge, and we should all be supportive of each other. So on that vein, I know that there was an invitation that went out from the BA. I was wondering what the status was of that, and I would really love to participate in that if that was, something that was happening.
Well, we did. Kate received an email, not to me. It was sent to her.
Okay.
So then she forwarded, she shared it with me. But the question that I asked was, I called the Board of Ed president and asked him if he was aware of this potential meeting, and he said no. Okay. So I said to him, well, if you can, find out the particulars, then let us know, because I'm sure there was more than one council person, that would be interested in what we possibly could do. Because I have to be honest with you, I really feel that if this meeting is called, the Board of Ed president, I keep saying council, Board of Ed president should also be aware and have some input too as to, what we're going to discuss and how many of us are going to meet, whatever. We have to figure out the logistics. So I have not heard back from him in terms of a meeting. So if—
Doesn't read his emails.
I'm sorry?
He does.
Well,
never mind.
We did.
It's okay.
I mean,
It's okay. I'm sorry.
maybe I should go to the board meeting, but I just figured,
Yeah,
I
no,
really
I
felt
hear you.
that,
I hear you.
that the Board of
Okay.
Ed members should be made aware that the business administrator had asked for this. Now, I don't know if some board members knew about it, and I don't know.
Okay.
But when he reached out, he didn't say that all the board members, not half the board, I didn't know. So I reached out to the president, and like I said, he was not aware at that time. So if since then that, the BA has reached out to him, then we'll see, where we'll go from there.
Okay.
But I think they have to know too, all of them.
All of them, yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay, well, that's great. I'm just glad that door is open.
Oh, yeah. no,
Yeah,
it's
and,
fine. Like I said, that's fine. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I followed the protocol.
Sure.
Because if our BA,
Can I add to this?
no, if our BA had asked for a meeting with the school board, I would hope that she would tell me first
Tell you.
and say,
Yeah,
Mary, I want to
sure.
reach out. Let's see what we can do.
Okay.
Can I just add one thing to that?
sure,
Just so
sure.
you know, I have met with the new BA, David.
Yes, she
at the
did.
school earlier this year. We kind of established our working relationship, are in contact with various things. We're having a meeting in the next couple of weeks regarding the school security shared services agreement. So I'll make sure to keep our line of communication, and we've established a good rapport, so we'll continue that as well. But if the council chooses to have this meeting, I'll make sure to facilitate and assist in any way I can.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good to know. Yeah, no, I just wanted to, because I know
no,
that they had talked about it at one of the meetings, and I wanted to make sure, because that was one of the things, when
But if we're all on the same page, it's better. I mean, all 9 board members from there and 9 council members from here. And that's how you open it up for discussion. We don't want it to be that,
Just
half the
certain
council knows, half the Board of Ed knows. That doesn't make sense either.
No, absolutely.
Right?
Great. Oh, that's good. Okay, well, thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
no worries. Yep.
Appreciate that very much. And last but not least, I just wanted to send out a big congratulations to our 2024 Old Bridge High School graduates. Yesterday was a beautiful day. I had 3 graduate at the PNC, and always such a wonderful day. And I did have the pleasure, as past Board of Ed member, I did have the honor of sitting on the stage, which is really an awesome experience, especially knowing other bands that have played up there and whatnot, so it's kind of cool sitting up there. So I just wanted to wish them well. This was, I guess, the last time that they were going to see each other going off into the world. And I just want to wish our amazing Old Bridge High School students well and congrats. So that's it. Thank you.
Councilman De Palma.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to congratulate the Old Bridge High School graduates as well on their commencement yesterday. I had the pleasure of sitting on the stage for the Sandberg graduation, and I've never felt so old in my life. To be totally honest, I didn't realize how many of the little kids that were little a long time ago are now big kids. And some of them do need haircuts, some of the boys, I will say that. I did joke with some of them. It's amazing to see all those students grow up, start to move on to the next stage, whether it's grade school, middle school, high school, and even college. So congratulations for that. You all are now in, for the most part, day 2 of your summer. So please enjoy it. Have a wonderful vacation. For those that are getting ready for college, enjoy that experience. It truly is once in a lifetime experience, getting into college and growing as an adult. I would like to also thank the rec department. So right before Father's Day, we had the father-daughter dance. I brought my little one. Thank Brianne, Lisa, Matt, and all of the staff for setting it up. It was bigger than last year. It was a great time. Walked into a sea of pink. My daughter and all her friends loved it, so I just wanted to make sure that I did recognize them on a wonderful job that they did. Also, I just want to give a special thank you to the police, fire, EMS, and OEM in town. Lately, there's been a lot of craziness, let's just say, going on, whether it's accidents, fires, the EMS responding. I'm always at a loss of the professionalism and awesome job that you all do. I want to make sure that while we're up here and while we have this opportunity, that we do thank you on a regular basis, because I think a lot of times, yes, we thank police when they come to our aid, but we want to make sure that all of our first responders are thanked on a regular basis, so they know that they are, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to ask you something. Sorry, Mary. Want you to know that we do see you, we do appreciate everything you do for us in town. And I don't think I stand up here alone. I think I could probably speak for everybody on this council in just saying a big thank you very much. And then finally, just happy 4th of July to everyone. Please be safe. Drive safely. Please do not allow the folks that I just thanked to come out to your home on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, or any day through July and August. And have a wonderful summer. Thank you.
Councilman Desai.
Good evening. We are approaching July 4th next week, which is the 248th birthday of this great nation. I come from India, which is the largest democracy in the world, to the oldest democracy in the world. And I'm proud when I became citizen of this great country in 1984. So I'm so proud, and I always want to celebrate with my children, neighbors, and family the July 4th holiday. So I wish this July 4th will be a great weather day and we all can enjoy. And the next thing, what I'm going to announce, we are going to celebrate India's Independence Day right here outside near the flagpole by raising the flag of India. And that will be August 17. India's Independence Day is August 15, but it comes always on a weekdays. So we select the Saturday after 15. So it will be at 10 o'clock in the morning, we will raise the flag with some patriotic Indian song. And then after then, in Civic Center, we will have a light refreshment. So all of you and everyone, whoever listen this, are welcome to join with the Indian community of this great town of Old Bridge. And also, I invite you to join for a light Indian snack lunch. So one more time, enjoy the July 4th holiday. If you are going to use the fireworks, be responsible, so nobody can get hurt or even yourself. That's about it. I think I already said last time, congratulations to all graduates, not only high school graduates, kindergarten, primary school, middle school, and the high school, and also the college graduates. There are many college graduates were from Old Bridge in Rutgers. So congratulations to all those graduates and moving toward the new life or new environment, as Councilman Deepama just mentioned. College is a different appearance. I have 3 children and all went to the college and they did the master, and it was a different life. And after graduating and getting a good job or a business, I think as an Indian community, our belief that children should get the best education so they have something to fall back. If they join in my own retail business, they can survive. But if they have some problem and if they are educated, they can fall back and find a job. Again, enjoy the rest of the summer and hope to see all of you participating in July 4th and India's Independence Day on August 17, 10 a.m. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes, thank you. I also want to thank all the graduates, whether it's kindergarten, 8th grade, middle school. I don't know. When I was in school, it was 8th grade. Now there's middle school. So really, congratulations to all the graduates, high school, college. Congratulations again. Also, the 4th of July. Everybody be safe, like Councilman Desai said. Everybody be safe. Please be safe. First aid. Everybody be safe, because it's a crazy day. Everybody's out there partying, having a good time, but unfortunately things happen. So be safe. Also, I want to thank the residents for coming out tonight and speaking. We hear you. On behalf of the council, I'm sure we all hear you. We hear your concerns. So don't think you're not being listened to. We hear you. So thank you. That's really all I have. And I want to thank you. Have a safe summer. And again, happy 4th of July to everyone. Be safe. Thank you.
Councilman Murphy.
I just want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. School's out now, so everybody please drive carefully. And I want to congratulate everybody from any school that graduated. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes, thank you. I 100% support the residents being able to speak. I'm totally in favor of freedom of speech. So thank you. Madam President, I'd like to address the attorney. I have a question. Is that the proper time at council comment? It's just a quick question. It's an easy one. Last council, we voted on a density ordinance, and it's not on this week's agenda. I was wondering, what was the reason?
My sense is.
We moved it up to
had
first
be-
reading?
Had to be referred to the planning board, and the planning board had.
Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, I just didn't understand the process.
So the
Oh, okay.
Councilman
you.
De Palma just indicated that the meeting's on Thursday, so they'll review it Thursday.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All good? Okay. Council President Sohar.
Okay. I just first want to thank everybody for the helping me with the HOA Day of Giving, the home associations. We collected food for the food bank. And I have to tell you, from Society Hill to Lake Ridge to Country Place and all over, they were fantastic in what they delivered and put there for us. I want to thank Matt. He's not here tonight, but he did help me collect all the food, and it was really very successful. And I'm just very happy, because the summer is sometimes a difficult time for people if they have young children and they're home. So this was a really good initiative, and Old Bridge always steps up and delivers in terms of being so good with it, with all of that. I really do appreciate. I just wanted to give a thank you to the library, because they did a great summer kickoff for the children. It was really nice. The library director now is excellent, and it was really a nice day. They had a lot there for them, and it was a great time. And I want to congratulate naturally all the graduates. I hope people will partake at Cottrell. I think it's going to be really, really nice. I think the more we move forward every year, I think it's going to be a wonderful place for everybody to enjoy. So everybody have a safe 4th of July. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
Motion to enter executive session.
Please. Move.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Asatuli, second by Mr. De Palma.
So the motion to enter an executive session is for matters regarding litigation, national lead. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeCaro.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Desai.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
No comment.
Councilman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
8 yeses.
Okay, let's make sure the room gets done so we can leave.